Hi, Grandma.
Hi, boys. I want you to help your grandfather with the corn.
We will. He already told us to.
We just came in to ask for baskets.
Grandma, how did harvest start? Did you do what we're doing now when you were little?
Yes, I did, but things were different then. I will tell you how the three sisters came to be and why we still do things the old way. From the beginning of time, white corn has been part of the Oneida culture. It began with our creation story. When Sky Woman fell from the sky world, the birds caught her, gently placing her on the back of a great turtle. Sky Woman was pregnant when she fell from the sky. Soon she gave birth to a daughter. Her daughter, a spiritual being like her mother, grew and matured quickly. Soon she became pregnant with twins. The twins were right-handed and left-handed. The right-handed twin came out the natural way, while the left-handed twin came out her side, and this killed her. Sky Woman then took her daughter's body and buried her. From her body grew medicines. Also came corn, beans, and squash, which we call the Three Sisters. Oneida women long ago were the ones who tended the fields, growing and harvesting the Three Sisters, using tools of bone and wood. In the fall, the Oneida women would gather the corn from the fields. The corn was placed in woven baskets. The women would sort and find the best corn seed for the next year, and the rest of the corn was braided. The corn was then stored and hung in braids from the top of the longhouse. This would allow the corn to dry and keep it free of mice and other animals. During the late 1500s, European settlers started to arrive on our land. This would bring great change to the Indian people. Oneida people began living in log homes, and this took the place of longhouses. Steel took the place of bone and stone. One of the changes the Europeans brought was the role of men and women. The roles were reversed. The men tended the fields and the women stayed in the homes.
Grandma, what happened to our people?
In 1774, when the Revolutionary War started, George Washington asked us to fight on his side against the British. In the winter of 1777-78, George Washington's troops were at a place called Valley Forge. It was winter and the troops were cold, sick, and starving with little to no supplies. The Oneida people came to Washington's aid. Oneida people brought bushels of corn hundreds of miles from their New York homelands to help Washington. The food brought by the Oneidas helped Washington troops survive.
What happened, Grandma?
Fighting side by side with Washington, the Oneidas helped the revolutionaries win the war. Our ancestors thought their way of life was secure, but Washington ordered General Sullivan to destroy our homes and crops. European settlers took our land, leaving Oneida people with no homeland or food to survive. The Oneidas realized that in order to survive, they would need to leave New York and find a new home. There was a division among the people. One group moved into Canada. A smaller group stayed in New York, and a larger group moved to the Michigan Territory, which would later become Wisconsin. Times were hard and difficult, but they survived. Part of our culture is to pass on our knowledge on to the next generation. The Oneidas believed in the traditional ways of growing white corn. Today, our white corn is hung and dried the traditional way. The corn is now taken to our cannery, where it is used to make corn soup, corn mush, cornbread, and other traditional foods.
Thank you for telling us the heritage and culture of white corn.
Okay, boys, now go help your grandfather with the corn.